Their teachings is based on their own logic, what they saw, what they see is right, what they see is wrong. And the flaw in that teaching is that it's human. You know, people spend tens of thousands of dollars even if they don't have it. They borrow it. They, take advances from their jobs. They, sell their 401k money. They do all types of things to get a hold of $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 to go to Mussar seminars. Unfortunately, the Mussar seminars are not really Mussar seminars by the Torah. The Mussar seminars, they're called in the secular world self-help. So they go to different famous speakers like Tony Robbins and other people that are like him, that in essence what they teach is Mussar. They teach you things to help you. But how are they going to help you? First, we have to identify that there's something wrong. First, we have to identify that we are not perfect. First, we have to identify that we're sick. We're sick. Being sick is not necessarily such a bad thing. You could use it for your advantage. You could learn from it. You could start appreciating things differently. But first, we have to identify that there's something that we have to correct. Because if anyone in this room is already perfect, this class is for sure not for you. I come here because I know I'm far, far away, probably further from everybody else, from being perfect. So, this is a class that is for the purpose of us helping ourselves by learning Mussar, by learning the teachings of God. The difference between Tony Robbins and what we learn is that Tony Robbins learns things that he's learned through experience. By the way, come in. If you're waiting, you don't have to wait out there. You come in. Don't be embarrassed or anything. It's fine. We're all late. We just talked about how part of being Jewish is being late. So the key is that when you have these different self-help coaches, they call themselves coaches, speakers, and so on. There's also the guy that he ran a chop house. He ran a brokerage firm that stole a lot of money from investors some time ago, and then got arrested, and then made a movie about it. I forget his name. He's a very, very good speaker. Jordan Belfort. He's also become a very motivational speaker, and he teaches from the good parts of his experience. The difference between their teaching and Mussar from the Torah is their teaching is based on human experience. Their teaching is based on their own logic, what they saw, what they see is right, what they see is wrong, and the flaw in that teaching is that it's human. It's human. So humans have flaws. So there used to be a very, very good speaker, probably one of the best speakers in all of history. I don't know all the speakers that have ever been in history, but I can tell you for sure, anyone that knows and appreciates speaking would tell you the same. I've been speaking for 20 years, first in the business world, then in the Torah world for the last few years, and I appreciate speakers. Someone that's a good speaker, that's motivational, that can get you shaking a little bit, that gets you to do something about it. It's a skill set. It's something extraordinary. So I can tell you that some years ago, about 70 years ago to be exact, there was a speaker that was extraordinary. Probably the best speaker ever. And he used his logic to motivate people with a further extent than I think anyone else did, at least after him, if not before him. The problem is that he used his own logic, human logic, remember. And his human logic told him that he has to tell people to go kill other people. Specifically Jews, or people of color, or homosexuals, or anyone that didn't fit his description. And his name was Adolf Hitler. Now you don't need to understand German to know that Adolf Hitler was a great speaker. Just from hearing him and how passionate he was about his speech, see, this is something out of this world. Mamash, the koach of the Satan was in him.
Als unsere Partei gerade 7 Mann hoch war, sprach sie schon 2 Grundsätze aus. Erstens, sie wollte eine wahrhaftige Weltanschauungspartei sein. Und zweitens, sie wollte daher kompromisslos die einzige Macht und alleinige Macht in Deutschland.
Some of the Gedolei Ador have said it's probably the Satan in human form. Made a deal with him or something. But the power of speaking was extraordinary. So, of course, I'm not comparing Tony Robbins or any of these other decent human beings to Hitler. The point I'm trying to tell you is that when you are speaking from logic, human logic, by default, it's flawed. Because it's human. And it's subjective. To what you feel is right. The good news is that we also have available to us divine logic. Logic from God. Teachings from God. Mussar from God. Self-help from God. That he taught Moshe Rabbeinu in Mount Sinai. Moshe Rabbeinu taught all of the people during his generation. Yeshua ben Nun, the 70. If you don't mind, can you move her chair to the other table to sit with the other women? Oh, actually, yeah, sit right over here. Right over here, next to Tzadika over here. Yeah. Anyway. So he doesn't bother you during the shiur. He talks a lot. So, the key is to know that this logic was taught by HaShem, to Yeshua ben Nun, to the 70 elders, to all of the prophets, generation after generation. Eventually got to the sages, the Tanaim, the Amoraim, all the sages that are mentioned in the Gemara. For the last 3,000 years, we've had this oral tradition travel, and we know where everything came from. We can track every single thing that's written to a source. Even if it's a book that was written in the last 50 years, or the last 100 years, or the last 200 years, we can see where their source is. Because any respectable book, Torah book, has to provide sources. Okay, you have a nice idea. It makes sense, Kvod Harav, makes sense. What's your source? Is it your logic, or is it God? If it's your logic, maybe yes, maybe no. It could make great sense, but it's maybe yes, maybe no. Maybe good today, maybe bad tomorrow. If it's God, it's permanent. God doesn't change his mind.
We are meant to be a light unto the nations, not to follow their misguided practices. Remember, every Jew has to remember that he's a Jew and she's a Jew. We don't celebrate non-Jewish holidays, even if they seem harmless. It's a zilzul, disrespect to the Torah, and could lead to Chilul HaShem, desecration of God's name. Stick to our holy Torah and our own holidays. That's the path of a true Jew.